see, no matter how much you practice in nets, unless until you are not able to score in ground, it won't matter, right?
Yeah.
So no, कितना भी preparation कर लो, unless until you are not able to execute yourself under pressure.
Hello everyone, here we have Pranav. Pranav is a engineer. अपना जो bachelor's and master's इन्होंने IIT Bombay से किया हुआ है, and he came into the preparation cycle and he has cleared SEBI Grade A 2025 exam recently. So big round of applause first of all. He has actually given so many काफ़ी सारे जो regulatory body के exams हैं उन्होंने दिए हुए हैं. Be it IFSCA, PFRDA and RBI, right? So very close call. मतलब काफ़ी कम marks से इनका जो है रह जाता था. He has the experience of the interviews of these specific exams also. Apart from that, इनका thought था कि ये पहले MBA करें, CAT की preparation कर रहे थे, but then he came into the preparation of these regulatory bodies. So that's a great shift, and in the very first attempt he has cleared SEBI Grade A 2025. So first of all, congratulations.
Thank
Pranav.
you, sir. Thank you.
Congratulations from the side of the entire team, right? And all the best. And these are the people who have helped you. He has totally prepared from EduTap. ऐसे ही ये कह रहे थे, just for a few mocks event for others, but totally from EduTap. So would you like to say something to them?
Yes. So I remember the day. It was 11th February 2025. I had a call with Anchit Sir and I asked Sir, sir, I want everything under one umbrella. And I said, I am going for current affairs, I am going for some other source. For finance, I am going to something else. Sir advised me to look at this particular course and I saw it. And that's where I decided that I am sticking to this course. And since last 1.5 years, I almost know all of you. I have seen all your videos on YouTube. But as a result is secondary in my opinion. Of course, it does matters, but the amount of learning, the amount of exposure I had in last 1.5 years is what I will take from this journey, and it will be the highlight of my preparation journey because it is something which is going to help me in my career ahead. So even if I wouldn't have been able to clear this exam, the amount of knowledge and exposure that I gained to this preparation will definitely help me to excel further in this career, and I believe EduTap being my sole source, it has contributed significantly in this preparation journey.
So if anybody has anything to ask, any comments, you can just ask Pranav.
Pranav, I have a question.
Yes.
As Sir has mentioned कि आपने IIT की हुई थी, तो IIT से regulatory bodies में shift करना, because you might be getting some good job there also. So what was the thought behind that?
So there were two reasons. First is I'm someone who is heavily inclined towards finance. So from the day one of my college, I was pretty clear that I want to make career in finance. Second factor is that on the first day of my college, our director told me that your education, your entire journey at IIT will be sponsored by taxpayers' money. And it is your utmost responsibility to give back to society. And that thing struck me. It is still with me right now. And I believe SEBI will give me the platform wherein I can give back to the society in a more meaningful way.
Anybody else? So Pranav काफ़ी कॉन्फिडेंट थे as far as we were discussing. उन्होंने ये बताया कि अभी आप कोई भी इंटरव्यू ला दो मेरे सामने, मैं तो क्लियर कर लूँगा. तो that's a great thing and congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, sir.
So here is your part of our wall of fame. You can put it here.
Thank you, sir.
This is an achievers batch.
Thank you, sir.
लगा सकते हो. Here is a small gift from our side. Hopefully it will help you manage your finances well.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Right from the side of the entire team.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. No. Sir, ka throw. Hello everyone. Welcome to this session of success stories. Here we have a very special person with us, Pranav, who has recently cleared SEBI Grade A 2025 exam. First of all, a big congratulations, Pranav.
Thank you, sir.
And I would say that this is in fact a very great achievement because as the paper was also slightly difficult, right? So it is a great achievement that you have cleared this particular exam this time. And I would like to wish you congratulations from the side of the entire team of EduTap.
Thank you, sir. Thank
How
you.
is the feeling right now?
So the day result came, the feeling was completely unreal. It took me some time to absorb everything. But now since it's been 8-9 days, it's pretty normal. I have observed everything. So it's very normal right now.
ओके सो व्हाट वाज द रिएक्शन ऑफ पेरेंट्स आपका क्या रिएक्शन था थोड़ा सा जैसा आपने डिस्कस किया था अगर आप डिस्क्राइब करना चाहो
So my parents were very happy. My mother, she straight away went to temple.
ओके
I thank God for giving me this opportunity, and yes, we all thank God for giving such a good opportunity to me. And everyone was very happy in my family.
Okay, wonderful. So Pranav has already given other regulatory body related exams like PFRDA. He has also given IFSCA as well as RBI. He has reached till interview of PFRDA and RBI. So there's a lot that we can learn from the journey of Pranav. So we'll one by one keep asking things and unravel his journey. So first things first, starting with the educational background, would you like to mention, as you said, that थोड़ा सा different background से है SEBI is actually something which requires a commerce, like it gives an advantage, and you're from a different background. Would you like to mention about that and how did you cope up with
Yes, sir.
that?
Sir, I'll just mention my background. So, I have completed my engineering from IIT Bombay, and my department was environmental science engineering, and it is a relatively new department. Mine was second batch to pass out. But right from my first day of my college, I was highly inclined towards finance, and the simple reason is that my college gave me platform to explore all different dimensions, and that's how I was introduced to finance, and it sparked my interest in that field. So I was very clear that I want to make a career in finance, but I was not sure in which field, whether it is a regulatory field or whether it is a corporate field. After my graduation, I got to know about these exams, and I started preparing for these exams. However, if you look at my background, I come from environmental science, and I still believe environmental perspective is extremely relevant in modern finance, because we have things like ESG, green
Yes,
bonds,
yes.
green financing, climate risk
There's an
assessment.
overlap.
Correct. So those things, I mean, I can really utilize the knowledge that I gained in my graduation in the regulatory field as well.
Okay. So, since you are a graduate and you have done your M.Tech also from IIT Bombay, it was a dual degree.
Correct.
And keeping this thing in mind, mostly people actually hesitate to give exams which have which require a commerce background, which gives an advantage in that field. So, would you like to give any message, because there might be many who might be having a background of B.Tech and engineering, and they might be hesitating to give SEBI and PFRDA such exams. Is does that matter? Yes.
So, if you have background in commerce, that will give you early traction.
Hmm.
But that does not mean someone who is coming from non-commerce background, he is having a disadvantage. Understand one thing, that you don't need to get a PhD in commerce, right? The whatever concepts that are being asked in the exam, it tests basic conceptual clarity. So someone who does not have any background of commerce, if that person can invest 3-4 months of dedicated preparation, he can bridge that particular gap, and he can compete with the commerce level people.
Okay, right. So, it is like if they go for a basic concept understanding, build on those concepts,
Correct.
and keep a track of the previous year
Correct.
questions, they can definitely go ahead and give it. So, do not hesitate, is something that Pranav would want to say over here. Now, as you were mentioning previously, that you have given other regulatory body exams also. So, would you like to mention about that, and did that help in getting this particular result in SEBI this time?
Definitely. I mean, PFRD is something which has huge overlap with SEBI syllabus. So by the time SEBI notification came out, my entire syllabus was already covered.
Okay.
So I just had to fine tune or polish few things that were not, I mean, the fields where I was not comfortable. So PFRD preparation definitely helped me in the SEBI syllabus. Second, preparing for exam like RBI gives you holistic understanding of what is happening in the economy. What is government doing, what are different schemes available to different groups of people. So these these types of understandings help me in descriptive paper, paper 1 of phase 2, correct? Because in that you have to write an essay, and your essay becomes good essay only if it is backed by data, statistics, facts, correct?
Yes.
Another thing is that studying for RBI, it helped me a lot in my it helped me in the interview preparation of SEBI,
Okay.
because all those things I learned in my RBI preparation, I could highlight those things in the SEBI interview.
Mhm.
And I feel all the exams that I prepared till now really helped me in my SEBI exam.
Okay, wonderful. So Pranav has given that at each stage, I would say
Yes.
that these exams have definitely helped. So apart from that, how was the experience? Because you always, I think, since you started for preparing for PFRDA, you had to be in the track of preparation, and many a times, as you were mentioning, you couldn't clear just कुछ मार्क्स से रह जाता था.
Correct.
तो आपको फिर कैसे कोप अप किया? कई बार many a times people feel कि अब तो बस भाई रहने दो, शायद होगा नहीं. तो this happened multiple times with you. So what was the experience during the preparation? What would be your routine, and how did you cope up with that feeling? Would you want to mention?
So the most difficult part of the preparation journey was not giving up after failure.
Yes.
So by the time PFRD results came out in the December, yes, I missed by very minute margin, but I understood that I cannot stop at this point. Though I was not able to clear it, but there were few positives. For example, in descriptive English, I got 67 marks, which were highest among the all aspirants.
Okay.
In interview, I got 78 percentage marks, 11.7 out of 15. So these were also
Great.
among the highest marks. So I decided to take these two positives and move ahead. And these 2 marks really gave me confidence in my SEBI preparation.
Great. So what I can understand is you took the positives.
Correct.
And took it ahead and prepared for the exam, right? So that's great to know. And coming to the part where you were mentioning that you also went for the teaching profession, right? Shift from, like, you were preparing for CAT at a time, and then you moved towards this. How did that happen? Would you like to mention?
So the point when I entered into teaching profession, it really helped me to build my personality. It gave me confidence to speak in front of a class of 56 students, right? So that thing really helped me in the interview as well. And teaching is something which I really enjoy personally. I like helping others. It gives me intrinsic satisfaction. So that was the objective of going into that field. And by the time I was exploring different opportunities in the finance, I got to know about regulatory exams, and that's how I started my preparation.
Okay, great. So, basic passion of finance, I would
Correct,
say,
correct.
drove you into this, right? So, that's great to know. And if I would move into the details of your preparation, like many people keep asking, aspirants also ask whether we should go for a separate preparation for phase 1 and then prepare for phase 2. As in SEBI, we have the paper 2 subjects which are common. So, what would
Correct.
you advise? What would your advice be there for these people, for the aspirants?
Yes, so definitely, I mean, the way you said, ki, can we go for separate preparation? So, if you're going for separate preparation, you should have a clear plan of what you're going to do. So, personally, in my case, I am very good with mathematics and reasoning section. So, this took care of my paper 1 in phase 1. So, I maximized my strength in mathematics. I used quant to my strength, and I could clear the cutoff using these 2 sections. So, I didn't focus much on paper 1. Now coming back to paper 2, it is exactly same of what is asked in phase 2, correct? So
Yes.
I invested much of my time in that preparation, and yes, that's all.
Okay. So, as far as paper 1 is concerned, phase 1 paper 1 is concerned, so I think you are really pro at it. Already you have given, I mean, you were a graduate from IIT Bombay. But even then, if you would like to advise something like, should we test through mock whether where we stand and then go for the preparation, or should we just go for a basic preparation overall, even if like we are prepared or not? Like, how should we approach this paper 1? What would you advise?
So there is no substitute to mocks. See, no matter how much you practice in nets, unless until you are not able to score in ground, it won't matter, right?
Yeah.
So no, कितना भी preparation कर लो, unless until you are not able to execute yourself under pressure, and that pressure situation will only mocks can give you that pressure, right? So
Absolutely.
that is the only way to evaluate yourself how you are going to perform an exam. So it doesn't matter if you prepare for 100 hours or 200 hours if you are not giving a single mock. and in my preparation journey I gave around 30-40 mocks of paper 2 of phase 2, and I would still say that those 30-40 mocks helped me a lot rather than preparing for 8 hours daily.
Okay, right. So mock should be a
Correct.
basic thing, right? So that's great. Now moving into each of these subjects, like did you feel with respect to the subjects like commerce, accountancy, costing, companies act, these are totally new.
Correct.
Of course, you mentioned that we should go for a basic understanding first and then prepare. On that, what would you advise? Because many engineers might be targeting to give these exams, SEBI, PFRDA. So, what would be your advice on that again?
Correct. So Companies Act is something which you have to remember every little things, right? So right from very small numbers, very small facts, you have to remember. So it doesn't matter which background you are coming, everyone has to just buy at those things. So what I did for Companies Act is that I used AI models like ChatGPT and Claude. I used to upload PDFs, like in EduTap we have seven or eight different PDFs of Companies Act.
Yeah.
So every single day I used to upload one PDF on AI, and I used to tell them ki create 50 MCQ questions based on the content of PDF, and I used to practice these 50 questions daily. So that helped me, because when I'm practicing new sets of 50 questions every day, that forced my mind to actively recall what I have studied. And when you're practicing active recalling, that helps you to helps in retention of things,
Yeah.
because Companies Act is something which you can't simply keep reading on, right?
Hmm.
You have to recall the exact figure in the pressure situation, and that will only happen if you are forcing your mind to recall in the pressure situation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so Companies Act, although we feel that it is easy, you just have to remember the sections and all, but we do have to go for an active recall, is
Correct.
what you mentioned. And also, to all the aspirants, how wonderfully you can make use of the AI is something that Pranav is mentioning over here. So you can take cues from that. Coming to the trend of the paper also was very difficult, as you were mentioning, you corrected me that it is not slightly difficult, it is very difficult. So keeping that in mind, was that a surprise? And although these subjects like commerce, accounts, costing, again mentioning Companies Act, there were new kind of questions also in the exam.
Correct.
Did that, I mean, was it a surprise, or how did you tackle that situation? Or would you say that a basic conceptual understanding would do with any kind of a paper?
So there were bouncers, I will admit that. So it was, in cricket terminology, it is a classic green pitch where you have to where batsmen have to face someone like James Anderson or Trent Bolt coming from other end.
Okay.
So paper was one of the most difficult papers in the history of SEBI examination. But I understood that it is not something where you can score really high marks. So I told myself after 15 minutes, paper is difficult, I need to play safe. I avoided taking guesses. I avoided going for questions where I was not sure. So I solved only 82 questions out of 100.
Okay.
And I was really happy that paper was difficult, because whenever paper is difficult, it rewards hard workers. Correct? If the paper is easy, someone who has invested 1 hour or someone who has invested 8 hours, it won't make difference. Anyone can go and solve.
Absolutely.
So at the end of the day, when I realized paper was very difficult, I was very happy. In fact, I was expecting more difficult paper in terms of numericals.
Okay.
I am someone coming from engineering background. I love numericals, and there were very less numericals this time. So next time if SEBI is conducting, I would like to see more numericals.
Okay, wonderful. So yeah, from the commerce, accounts, costing part, there were less numericals than expected.
Correct.
But there were numericals from economics and finance,
Correct.
I would say. So was that a surprise?
No, I mean I was expecting at least 20 numericals in 100 paper, 100 questions. So hardly there were 3-4 numericals in the 100
Okay,
questions.
few
So
questions.
yes.
Right. So generally, with respect to economics, we expect numericals less. What would you advise with respect to that? How should the preparation be? Even with finance, right? So what would you advise with these subjects? How should the preparation be?
So I always believed that don't expect anything. You just prepare and let examiner ask what he wants to ask. You just go there and be prepared for everything that is coming at your way. So doesn't matter if it is very difficult paper, doesn't matter it is numericals, doesn't matter it is theoretical questions. You will be able to solve if you are prepared for everything. So don't go in certain assumptions that the examiner won't ask me questions in this field. Don't go with those assumptions.
So when you're flying high, the storms below doesn't matter.
Correct.
Something like that.
Yes, yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So great to know that. Now also coming to other subjects, talking about the descriptive English, right? Like you were mentioning that you had to go for a rigorous preparation with respect to that. So would you like to mention how to prepare, and even the interface in the examination that is slightly challenging to
Correct.
people. So how did you cope up with these things? How did you prepare for the examination hall, for the real battle?
Yes. So coming to the interface question, I realized in PFRDA that interface is going to be not a very modern. So coming from engineering background, I did coding on myself, and I designed a web page of similar interface as of exam.
Okay.
So that helped me. Another thing is that I bought a very cheapest possible keyboard from Amazon, because in exam centers we have such keyboards, correct?
Yeah.
So I bought cheapest possible keyboard that was available on the internet, and I practiced on that keyboard.
Okay.
So that gave me the flavor of what lies ahead of me in the exam. Those two things really helped me, because in exam you have to type, and typing on laptop keyboard and computer keyboard, it is completely different game, correct? So these small things really helped me. And coming towards preparation, I used AI to this. I used to write at least one of AC, Presse or reading comprehension every day. So for example, today I'll write essay, tomorrow I'll write reading comprehension, and day after tomorrow I'll go for Presse. And I used to get this evaluated from AI every single day. And whatever feedback AI used to give me, I used to try to implement that feedback in my next attempt. So this was the learning curve for me in the descriptive English.
Okay, wonderful. So that's great. Again, proper usage of AI, I would say, in the preparation. So these are the cues that you can also take, that you can make use of AI in evaluation of the descriptive English if you are preparing for that, right? So that was great to know. Now, coming to the part which is very crucial, I would say, that is the interview. Okay. So what was your experience with respect to the interview? You have given multiple, regulatory body interviews already. And what was the experience there? Was it different over here? And I will ask a little deeper as far as interview is concerned. So you can just tell me initially, in comparison to other exams, what was your experience as far as the interview is concerned?
Interview, I would say it was similar interviews across all three regulatory bodies of what I have given so far.
Okay.
Because I feel interview is one of my strengths. The simple reason is that I invested a lot of time in my interview preparation. So the day I started my preparation, I realized I have to go through interview if I have to clear this exam. So I used to do commentary on cricket. So cricket is something which is very close to my heart.
Okay.
So whenever I used to get free time, whenever I used to get very bored, whenever I used to be alone at home, I used to do commentary on cricket. So for example, we have lots of matches going on these days, correct? So I used to stand in front of camera, and I used to analyze what could be possible 11 of this team, what could they have done better to improve. So these things really helped me in interview, because what is interview? It is just a communication of and how fluent you are.
Yeah.
So being fluent, being confident, showing your character in interview is really important. Second part about interview preparation is that being aware of what is happening around you. So that thing really helped me, because coming from Mumbai, since I am from environmental science department, I had to observe one thing, that every real estate or every construction project, we have LED screen out of just close to that gate, where they display parameters like AQI, PM 2.5, PM 10. So I used to just take down note of these things happening around me, and I was able to highlight these points in the interview. And I was expecting these questions, as an environmental engineer, what is happening in the country. And all these recent initiatives by government really helped me to get that extra edge in the interview.
Okay, great. So coming to the questions that were asked in the interview, SEBI interview, I would say, were they like more HR kind of questions? And sometimes people have said the panel's mood also is something that determines how your interview goes. So did that matter in your interview? And were the questions more HR kind, or were they going technical? Would you like to mention?
So my interview scores has been pretty consistent. So I won't say it depends on panel's mood.
Okay.
So despite of panel's mood, I am able to score good marks. So I won't go in that side.
Right.
Coming towards my questions. So my questions were mixed. There were HR questions, there were technical questions, there were questions based on current affairs.
Okay.
So I got holistic coverage of all types of questions.
Okay, would you like to mention any questions that you remember?
Yes, so there were 15 questions. It lasted for around 14 minutes, 15 minutes. And first question was obvious, introduction, family background. Then they asked me about, you're coming from very good institute. Don't you think you are wasting a seat of that institute? So just trying to trigger me. But I was prepared for these questions. The another question is that, so the moral of the interview is to test your character. So they'll try to trigger you, they'll try to demoral you. They'll just test how calm you are under pressure, because if you're aiming to work in a regulatory institute, it is a high pressure environment. You need someone who can handle pressure. So that's how they test in the interview. They will put you under pressure, they will try to demoralize you, they'll try to trigger you, and they'll see how you're reacting to that particular situation. So these were the objectives of the panel, I suppose. Another questions, coming towards technical questions, what are REITs, real estate investment trust, what are InvITs? There were a couple of current affairs based questions. Yeah, that's all what I can recall.
Okay, fine. So, as they were asking you about this part, what was your answer, if you could mention, if you remember, that
Yes.
you are from a prestigious institution and then you are coming into SEBI?
Yes.
So, if you remember.
Yes. Yeah. So I told him ki on the first day of my college, when I was sitting in the orientation hall, our director said that your education, your everything in the institute is being sponsored by taxpayers' money, and it is your utmost responsibility to give back to the society. And I feel SEBI as a regulatory ecosystem will give me platform to give back meaningfully to the society, because as a SEBI I will be working towards investor protection, investor education, market surveillance, market protection, and this is a platform where I can give back to the society in a holistic manner.
Okay, wonderful. So that's a great answer. In
Yes.
fact, because I have met many aspirants who are from prestigious institutions and they have come this way. So of course, someone who is preparing can also take up this, and if it matches, they can answer in this manner. Now, coming to the other part, like it is not that whenever we achieve something, it is not that we have worked alone. There are many people behind us who are actually instrumental in coming about. The result goes right in that manner. So, would you like to mention anyone who has actually helped you? Some of your friends, of course, family is there. Apart from that, any mentors who have been your favorite, right?
So whenever I used to get any trouble, I used to simply call to EduTap. Anchit Sir
Okay.
used to talk with me on the Google Meet. I used to ask Sir, ki, Sir, I am facing these difficulties. What can I do? And Sir used to guide me. You could try these things. You could try these things. He used to also give some reference of other teachers. For example, VD Sir for Quant, and there is Narvi Sir for English. So talking with mentors always made me believe that okay, someone is standing behind my back, and that thing really helped me to handle everything, right from not getting selected in PFRDA or other exams. Those small things really helped me in the entire preparation journey.
Okay. Any friends, and what support did you get from the family members? Because mostly there's a pressure that why are you not joining any big companies after your IIT? So were they supportive, and would you like to mention anything?
My father was extremely supportive. The day I resigned from job and the day today I'll be joining SEBI, he has been one of my pillars of my preparation journey,
Wonderful.
and he always supported me from my happiest moments as well as my worst moments. He has been the constant throughout my preparation journey. And talking about friends, so I completely isolated myself for last 1 year. I was not in touch with my friends. But yeah, there were 2-3 friends with whom I was constantly talking and discussing about how it is going. But yeah,
Okay, that's great. That's great to know. And coming to your preparation, was there any? Where did you prepare from? If you would like to mention, was there any contribution that we could make it
Yes.
from EduTap? If you would like to mention.
so I remember I started my preparation on 11th February 2025.
Okay.
And I started my preparation with a call with Anchit Sir. Sir, I asked him, ki, Sir, I'm looking for something where I can get everything under one umbrella. So I don't want to open one website for current affairs. I don't want to open another website for a particular subject. Give me something which that will offer me under one umbrella. And he suggested me you can check EduTap course. He didn't recommend me buying. He just said you can check EduTap course. If it suits you, you can go ahead. And from day one till the last day of preparation, I relied completely on EduTap for the theory. However, for mocks, I did go for other platforms because I was interested in studying diverse sets of questions. So going through other mocks, other platforms mocks did give me some exposure to different types of questions.
Okay, right. So that's great to know, and it was wonderful talking to you. Is there any message that you would give to all the future aspirants who are actually watching this session? And of course, they have gained a whole lot of inspiration from your journey. Would you like to say something to them?
Yes, sir. Sir, what I have realized from my preparation is that result or outcome is secondary. Of course, it does matter, but if you look at my journey, the kind of knowledge, the kind of confidence it has given me, it has really transformed me as a person. So, if you are planning to take up, if anyone is planning to take up this preparation journey, I would advise them, don't look at the final outcome. Focus on the knowledge, focus on the learnings that you will gain. Because if I go to any interview right now, I can crack that, and that is a confidence that I have gained through this preparation. And same thing applies to everyone who is planning to take up this journey.
Okay, that's great. So just go ahead and proper basics, right?
Yes.
And move ahead in the direction. That's great to know. And there were a whole lot of learnings from Pranav's journey, and finally, from the side of the entire team of EduTap, we would like to congratulate you,
Thank you, sir.
Pranav, once
Thank you, sir.
again, and all the best for whatever you're going to plan ahead. Thank you so much for being part of this session
Thank you,
over
sir.
here and coming over here and meeting us. That's
Thank
a
you,
great
sir.
thing. It's a great delight to have you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.